Hey, what's up? This is Brian Moncada from the YouTube Ad Pros, and in this video and training, I'm going to show you how to successfully start and scale your very first YouTube ads campaign. So I'm going to show you how to create your ads, how to set up your ads account, how to create your first campaign, and how to optimize and ultimately scale that campaign to start making you money. We're going to go ahead and dive right into the laptop immediately. We're not going to waste any time, and I'm going to take you step by step on how to start and scale your very first YouTube ads campaign, and let's get into it.
The first thing, which is creating a Google Ads and Analytics account, which is what you need in order to start advertising on YouTube through YouTube videos. I'm going to also show you how to link your YouTube channel to your Google Ads account, how to set up tracking and conversions so you know you are spending a certain amount of money and getting a certain amount of money back, because traffic and tracking and conversions is very, very important to track everything that you need to know, as well as how to create and import remarketing audiences so you can then retarget audiences that land on your websites, as well as create new audiences based off people who have landed on your website, as well as finally show you how to create your first YouTube video advertising campaign. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. If you are just starting to watch this video, you should already have a Google account and you should already have a YouTube channel. If you don't, it's very easy to make. I literally made these two accounts in 2 seconds, and there's plenty of tutorials online on YouTube itself if you wanted to search how to make a Gmail account, which is very easy. So once you're logged into your Gmail account, you're going to want to go ahead and head over to Google Ads. You're going to want to click on Google Ads and then click on Sign In. It's going to ask you your password. You're going to log in. And once you are in, it's going to ask you if you want to add any recovery information, which is probably suggested since this will be your advertising account that you're going to be using. And once you are logging into your Google Ads account for the very first time, it's going to ask you to name your account. For this one, I'm going to put Mastermind Tutorial to manage my accounts and United States. And you can enter your information that suits you and where you are located in the world. And now that you have saved that information, you should be logged in to your Google Ads account. So now you should be inside of your Google Ads account. And now that you're inside your Google Ads account, you're going to want to go ahead and create your Google Analytics account, which if you go over to Tools at the very top right, then you right-click on Google Analytics, it should take you to Google Analytics, and it'll ask you to sign up, which you will click right here. You can name this the same thing you named your Google Ads account. For this example, I'll name it Mastermind Tutorial. Mastermind. And you can select an industry if you want, as well as, once again, select the time zone that fits you and where you're located. Make sure all these are checked, and then click Get Tracking ID. Accept the terms and conditions, and you're good to go. You'll know you'll be good to go when you see the success right over here. It'll also ask you to download the mobile app, which you don't have to do. So now that you are inside your Google Analytics account, you want to go ahead and place this code onto your website. So for the sake of this tutorial, because this can get a little complicated, whether you're using, let's say, a website that's posted on WordPress, landing pages, lead pages, ClickFunnels, maybe it's a custom website that you had your buddy make or your friend make. That's where it can get a little hectic, but all you need to know is this code right here for Google Analytics needs to be placed onto the back end of your website so you can start tracking everybody and anybody who lands on your website. And when you put this on your website, you should see that there is, if you are also on your website at the same time, that there's one person or multiple people on your website right here where the status symbol is showing. And there's details and instructions on how to do that. Plus, you can always go to YouTube and type in how to install the Google Analytics tracking code onto the back end of your website, depending on what website platform you are using. But the main thing to take away right now is you need to go ahead and place this onto your website. So if you haven't, go ahead and pause this video right now and make sure you do that before we move on. And once you do that, you can go ahead and then scroll down to get or Google Ads linking. And now you want to link your analytics account to your Google Ads account, which you'll simply do by clicking the only account that should show up because you just created these, which is this one right here. Make sure you have all website data turned on and then link accounts. And boom, that's pretty much it. You click on done, and now you are able to click on audience definitions. Once you do, click on audiences, you want to enable remarketing, which basically means that you are going to enable the ability to be able to show ads to people that land on your website. And you want to go ahead and make sure you link it to your Google Ads account again. So this is asking you, where do you want the audiences you create inside Google Analytics to go, which is where you want them to show up, which is in Google Ads, your Google Ads account. So basically, what we've just done is we've created your Google Ads account and we've created your Google Analytics account. And these two accounts work hand in hand, and they are very necessary because let's say you have an audience of people that visit your website, which you should right now. Google Analytics automatically creates an all users audience for you. This all users is basically everyone who lands on your website, on any pages of your website. They will automatically be imported to your Google Ads account, which you go over to Audience Manager over here, which is on Tools once again, and you'll see you now have an audience that you could start running ads to if you so choose to once we set up your campaign. And it would show up right over here. It would show up how many people you can target based off how many people landed on your website, which you set up right here. And you also can go ahead and click on Create New Audience. So let's say you want to target specific people, right? You would click on users who have landed on a specific page of my website. And you can go ahead and click this edit button right up here and say, maybe I want to only target people who land on the thank you page. So let's say you have a thank you page of people who have bought a product or service from you. You would then make sure this has page contains this web URL at the end of it, contains thank you. You would click apply, and it would show you how many people have landed on this thank you page over the last 7 days. So if you have a website that has people constantly going through and purchasing your products and services, this number would obviously be a little bit higher. You can select the 30 membership duration, which means you want people to stay on this list for 30 days. For this example, if you have people that have purchased your product or service, you probably want to keep them on this list forever, so that way you never show them the same ads again if they've already bought that product, right? You can say thank you page visitors, or if you wanted to, purchased product and landed on thank you page. This is just for your own reference, whatever makes the most sense to you and how you will remember this audience. And then you can click on next step and once again import it to your Google Ads account. Make sure that's selected and click on publish. And boom, you now have an audience of people who have purchased from your websites. And what this is going to allow you to do is when you create your Google Ads account, which I'll show, or your Google Ads campaign, you'll be able to exclude them from your campaign so that way your ads don't show to them. And now that you have all of this set up, you want to go back and go to property settings and click on enable demographics and interest reports. This will be able to allow you to show you who exactly is landing on your website. So age, their gender, as well as interests and audiences that they are tied to, which will allow you to get more insights and interests based off who's landing on your website. And click save once you do that. And now you're pretty much done with Google Analytics for the meantime. However, now that you're already in here, it could be a little confusing, but for right now, that's all you need to really set up your accounts and to link them together. The next step is to set up your conversion tracking. So to do that, you want to go back to your Google Ads account, click on conversions, and this is where you set up a conversion action for specific goals you have within your business. Okay, so for this example, let's keep it simple and say, once again, you want people to land on your thank you page, and that is a purchase for you, right? So you can do purchases, you can do leads, someone that maybe opts into your website through an email sign up form, or someone that actually views a specific page, like an order page, or signs up through, like an opt-in, like I was just talking about, or other. For this example, we're going to do purchase. So purchased product. I choose don't use any value for this conversion. But if you have different values of different products, for example, you have a $97 product as well as a $197 product, you probably want to use different values depending on that conversion. For this example, we're going to use don't use one. We're going to do 1 because we don't want to track every time they land on a page if it's the same person. We want to track once, just for one conversion. And we're going to click on create and continue. And now we have the ability to install the tag ourselves. If you want to quickly install it onto your website yourself, you can. All you would need to do is make sure you already have this analytics code set up like we already showed you how to do. Basically, there's tutorials on YouTube, how you can do that as well. And as well as there's also tutorials if you wanted to set this up yourself. You can email the tag to someone who has created your website for you so they can do it, and it'll have the instructions there for them. Or you can use Google Tag Manager, but once you set up this code, you're going to click on done, and now you have your conversion action set up. So whenever someone purchases, you'll be able to track them right over here. And you want to make sure this says no recent conversions once it is set up properly. So once you install the code, it should say no recent conversions. And that's how you'll know that you set it up properly onto the back end of your website, and that people will be able to be tracked after they see your ad on YouTube and then they purchase your products and services. So now that we've created your Google Ads account as well as your Google Analytics account, it's time to link your YouTube channel to your Google Ads account. You want to go over to Tools, Linked Accounts in the top right corner. And then you're going to want to go to YouTube and then click on Details. You can see that it's asking us, do we want to link our YouTube to Google Ads? And that's where we click Add Channel. You then want to go to your YouTube channel and make sure you click on My Channel in the very top right once you are logged in. Copy this web URL to your channel, press it right over here, and then say I own this channel, and then it'll ask you to go to YouTube to confirm that you do actually own this channel. And you can assign a name to it, which we're going to continue with the name we've already been using, which is Mastermind Tutorial. You want to make sure all of these are selected because this is what's going to allow you to remarket to your YouTube audience if you do have one. So let's say you have a big YouTube channel already. That's awesome. You want to make sure that these are all selected so you can remarket to your YouTube subscribers, your YouTube video viewers. And I'll show you how to create those audiences in a moment. So now that you see that we are linked, we are good to go. You want to click Save. You also can enter your analytics property tracking ID right there. So in order to do that, go to property settings in your analytics account. You want to copy this ID. You can go over here and paste it. And this will allow you to have data for your YouTube channel showing up in your analytics account. And that should be good to go. And you can see that once we refresh on our Google Ads account, it should say linked and that we are ready to run. And there we go. Linked, everything's good. So the very last thing you want to do is set up billing and payments. You're going to want to click on billing and payments up here. And this is very standard. Just enter your information for your business, and it'll ask you country, what dollar amounts or what currency you want to use, the account type, business, your name and address, credit card information, and basically I agree. So once you submit, you should be ready to run your first campaign. And that leads us back to the account that we have set up. And now it's time to create our very first Google Ads YouTube video campaign. So now that we've set up our Google Ads account, we've linked it with our Google Analytics account, and we've set up our YouTube channel and linked our Google Ads and Analytics account to our YouTube channel, we are now officially ready to run your first Google Ads campaign, which is going to be a YouTube video campaign. So you're going to want to click on New Campaign in the Campaigns menu once you're in your Google Ads account. And there's different options you can select right off the bat. You'll see you can do options for sales, if you want to gather leads, if you simply want website traffic, you want people to consider your product and brand, or if you just want a campaign based off brand awareness and reach, or if you have an app that you want to promote. But if you're just starting off brand new, I suggest using product and brand consideration. And the reason why is because these two options right here, sales and leads, they're what's called smart bidding options. Now, smart bidding is basically using Google Ads automated algorithm to help you find the best traffic for you, your product, and your business. However, since this is a brand new account, you have no data to go off of and to give Google Ads to be able to get you the best cost per conversion for your product and your services. That's why we want to start off with product and brand consideration, because there is no data. It is a fresh account. And this is always the best option to start gathering data, seeing what works before switching over to sales and leads, which I'll get into in later on this video. You're going to want to click on video because this is a YouTube advertising tutorial, and it'll give you a few campaign subtypes that you can choose from. You can do influence consideration, which is what I always suggest first. There's shopping, which isn't relevant to this tutorial, and then there's ad sequencing. So these are the two options you want to go with. Ad sequencing is a little bit more complicated, and the reason why is because you're basically filming a storytelling sequence, right? So let's say you have 3 different ads, right? And they all line up one after the other. So the first one, you have an ad, and then it leads to the second ad, then it leads to the third ad. This is where you would use ad sequencing to tell your story in a particular sequence if you have it filmed that way. But most of you probably do not. So we're just going to click on influence consideration, but this is always a good option as well if you film your videos in a very specific order to get someone from the very first view of not knowing who you are to then being able to buy your product or your service after you've told them your stories in a number of videos along the way. So we're going to click on influence consideration for this example. And now it's time to create our campaign. So mastermind tutorial test campaign. And you can name this whatever you want. I always like to start off with the product that we're selling, as well as what the goal of the campaign is. And you can do everything else that makes the most sense for you. For your budget, this is really going to be a factor on how much you're willing to spend per day. So you can choose campaign total, but daily is always the best option, in my personal opinion. But obviously, this is dependent upon you, your business, and how much you're willing to spend per day. We're going to do $100 a day for this test. You can do a delivery method for standard or accelerated. I always do standard. If you do accelerated, it's going to spend your budget at an accelerated speed, which means a lot quicker, and it may cause your budget to run out earlier in the day. So if you're someone who just wants a lot of data right off the bat and really fast, you can do accelerated, but I always like to do standard. And keep in mind with the budget, Google Ads likes to point out for the month, you won't pay more than your daily budget times the average number of days in a month. Some days you might spend less than your daily budget, and others you might spend up to twice as much. So keep in mind, Google Ads has the ability to spend $200 even though your budget is only $100, because it might feel like they can get a little bit more conversions that day, and so they'll spend more. And other days they'll only spend $50 a day because they don't feel like they can get that many conversions that day. So it's really dependent, and that's why you should be willing to go over your double of what your daily budget is every single day. So keep that in mind. And for your start date, you can choose as soon as your ads are approved, or you can select the next day. I always like to select the next day. Oops. Tomorrow's the 2nd. You can also select an end date, but I don't do that. And then the bidding strategy is going to be max CPV, maximum CPV. So what you're going to be paying for is when someone views your video ad. So with maximum CPV, you're pretty much telling Google, I'm willing to pay this much per one view of my video ad, which is really cool, because if you're only willing to spend a cent on a view, you can. If you're willing to spend 10 cents on one view, you can. And we're going to go ahead and deselect YouTube search results and YouTube video partners on the display network, because we only want our videos to show up on YouTube and the YouTube platform when someone's watching videos, which is why we have this middle one selected. You could do YouTube search results if you have a video discovery ad, which I'll get into in a second. But right now we only want this one selected. And this one is basically, other websites that have YouTube hosted on their website, which we don't want. If your customers speak a certain language, obviously you want to select their language. So we're going to do English. United States, for this example, you can go worldwide, all countries and territories. United States and just Canada. We're going to do United States for this example. And what this is asking you is the inventory type. So Google has different buckets of how they separate their content, and they put them in 3 different buckets. One of them is expanded inventory, which is a lots of barely any, restrictions on it. So this is basically, you can go as wide as you want to every video on YouTube if you want. That includes excessive profanity, graphic sexual content and nudity, graphic violence, and serious injuries. So pretty much this is saying, hey, I want to show my ads everywhere. This one's more recommended by Google, and this is usually one that I start off with, especially for a brand new campaign and account. This just has a limited amount of profanity, sexual content, and violence shown on those videos. And this one's very limited. This one's basically, you want the least amount of graphic content and profanity possible. We're going to do standard inventory for this example. And you can also exclude content from showing on these topics if you want. This is once again just limiting the amount of reach you have and that your ads will show. So if you don't want it to show on sensitive content categories like these, you can select those so that way you exclude those types of videos from your ads being shown on them. And I also go ahead and select games, live streaming videos, and embedded videos, because I don't want my ads to show up on a game or a live stream, because people that are normally watching live streams aren't there to see an ad. They're there to see someone who's live streaming. And for games, it's not my target demographic. So usually my target demographic is not showing on games or apps or people that are playing games. And embedded videos is basically videos that are on other websites, which is why I select that as well, because I want to show my ads on YouTube. I also want to select content not yet labeled, just to expand my reach a little bit more. You can click on additional settings, and you can also set targeting based off what devices you want them to show on. So this is really powerful, because let's say your target demographic is more of the older demographic and they're usually still on their computers. You can only select computers if you want and deselect mobile phones, tablets, and TV screens. You can also just do mobiles and computers if you want, while doing tablets and TV screens excluded. So you have a lot of flexibility here. I always usually start off with computers and mobile phones only, and then that's kind of how I like to start my campaigns. Frequency capping is very huge, because let's say you're showing your video ad. You don't want to show the same video ad to the same person over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and then still not buy, but then just get mad and not like you, right? So the way to avoid that is to enter a frequency capping and an impressions cap and a view cap, right? So how you do that is, let's say you only want to show your video to the same person 7 times per week in this campaign. This means that an impression is someone who gets impressed with your video. They see a few seconds, but then they click skip. So you're not charged for that person viewing your video because they didn't view it yet. A view only costs you when they watch 30 seconds or they click on your video. So showing a video ad to the same person 7 times without them viewing it is a pretty good number to start off with per week. That's what I like to start off with. And I go ahead and do 3 views per week as well. So they're only allowed to watch the video 3 times in a week span, which means I won't get charged more than them watching that video 3 times per week, which is good, because if they watch it 3 times in a week, the same video ad, then it's a good balance where they're not going to get pissed off, but they're also going to have a good interaction with my business and my brand. And for this example, you can do the same thing. I like to just go ahead and copy the campaign name and change it to the ad group name as well. Demographics, this is huge. So if you know your target demographic is only females, you're not going to want to have males and unknowns selected. Unknowns, basically where Google says, I don't really know what this person is. They don't really have they have an ad blocker, or they have something that's blocking them from being able to see, what they are as a gender. And if we know our target demographic is not 18 to 24, but they're the 45 to 54 age range, we can go ahead and select those females in the 45 to 54 age demographic who are parents, as well as they are, maybe of the lower income side. So we can go ahead and just select the lower income. So really play around with this. If you're just starting off brand new and you don't really know who your target demographic is, just know if you have all of these selected, you're going to show up across a wide variety of people's, phones and computers with your ads. And if you like to go broad first, that's an awesome strategy to then narrow your target demographic down as you get some data. So for the sake of this example, we're going to leave this open. Audiences. This is huge. This is one type of audience way to target. So now that we've pretty much set up the structure of the campaign and all the settings, we're going to get into targeting now. So this is basically your targeting. Who it is that you're going to target, how you're going to target them, and what targeting method you want to choose. You can select audiences, and if you have audiences already set up, which we talked about in the beginning part of this tutorial, you can select people that have remarketed and already interacted with your business. And when you have more website visitors, it'll show up right there. You can select custom affinity audiences, so maybe people that are in the home and garden. You can go one step further and select do-it-yourselfers, people that always want to do it themselves. Media and entertainment, shoppers, sports and fitness. You have a wide variety of different targeting options here. In-market audiences, basically people that have shown that they are in the market for apparel and accessories, or are in the market for baby and children's products. Maybe they have a baby coming up and that's due, and they're shopping for child's toys or cribs, things like that. So you can always go with audiences as the targeting option. Keywords is very powerful because if you know your business is based off of how to run a mastermind, which is something that's very relevant to us in our business, we would want to have keywords related around how to run a mastermind setup, process, online masterminds, mastermind groups, different keywords related around masterminds. So this is very, very good way of going about getting highly targeted audiences to your traffic and to your website right off the bat. If you don't want to do keywords, you can go ahead and do topics. Once again, this is kind of like the audiences section as well. This is just topics of things that you can select and see. These are people that are related, that are interested in certain topics related to your business. Placements are huge because placements allow you to target specific YouTube channels. So if you wanted to target our YouTube channel, you can go ahead and search any YouTube channel and by their name, and you'll be able to see their channel show up and select their channel. So if this channel has ads, you can go ahead and make sure you select their channel. You can target their channel specifically to run ads on their channel, which is very, very powerful. You can also do specific videos as well. So notice I typed in Dean Graziosi, 1,000 plus videos come up that we can target. You can just go ahead and start going down the list and target all these videos. Now you want to make sure that these videos are actually monetized, which means they are allowed to show ads on them, because even though they show up on here, doesn't necessarily mean that you're allowed to run ads on them. So if you select a bunch of videos and you start running your campaign, but no ads are showing and you're not getting any impressions, it's probably because they're not showing ads on those videos, or they're not allowing monetization on those videos. So that's one way to know. It's where you select how much you're willing to pay per video view. Okay, so if you're just starting off, which we are, I normally suggest no more than 3 to 5 cents. You can start off with anything more, but 3 cents to 5 cents is really good to pay a small amount while getting good data onto your campaign. Now that you've selected how much you want to pay per view, you want to go ahead and enter your video that you want onto the ad. So right now is a whole different section that we're going to get into, but for the sake of example, we're going to click skip ad creation, and we're going to show you how to create a winning video ad in a second. So click on save and continue, and you want to click on in-stream ad and save. Continue the campaign, and you now have your first video campaign created. Okay, so now that we've set up your Google Ads account, your Google Analytics account, and we've linked your YouTube channel to your Google Ads account, I want to talk to you guys about the different YouTube advertising options you have to show your video ad in front of potential buyers and potential people that are going to join whatever it is that you are running your traffic for. We have two main types of video ads. The first is an in-stream video ad, okay? An in-stream video ad is where someone watches your video ad before the video they were actually going to watch on YouTube starts playing. So I just clicked on this video and I'm getting hit with an ad that's giving me the option to watch 5 seconds, and then I have the option to skip it. We've all been on YouTube before. We've seen ads play before our videos. And this is a very, very powerful video ad because you don't have an option to skip it until 5 seconds after you watch it. So if you are a video advertiser and you want to get the attention of someone who's in the target market of what you are selling or what your product or business advertises for, you want to make sure you use the first 5 seconds to really get their attention so that they do not skip the video ad, and that you can go ahead and make sure that you get in front of them at the right time. And if you see, I click play on this video. It also has a call to action right over here, which you can click on. If I was interested in this, I'd click on right there. And then I have the option to skip it on desktop. And also it has a companion banner right up here. And so this is the main video ad that you guys are going to be running, because this is the one that is the most powerful from what I've seen across my experience. And the other option is in display. This is basically where you show a video ad on the main homepage or while someone's watching another video on the side. And TrueView in-stream ads are the main ones you're going to be running. These are the ads that you can see right here. It has the skip option, but it also has the option to visit advertiser. And these are powerful ads. These are the ones you're going to want to run to start your campaigns. So now that I've shown you what the YouTube in-stream ad looks like, it's time to actually create your first winning video ad. Now, the key to YouTube and to YouTube advertising is very simple. I can show you guys how to set up the campaigns. I can show you guys how to create your accounts. I can show you guys how to link the accounts. But if your video ad that you actually are going to run as an advertisement isn't great, then it doesn't matter how much your targeting is dialed in. It doesn't matter how much you're willing to spend. You need a great video ad in order to make sales and get people's money exchanged for your products and your services. So right now I want to explain the perfect video ad structure, okay? It's actually very simple. You want a video ad that has a hook in the very beginning. So as you saw, you only have 5 seconds to get someone's attention before they click skip. Now, you can lose out on a lot of people that could be potentially interested in your product or service because you don't have a strong enough hook in the very beginning of your video ad. So you need a hook that gets their attention. What is the one question you can ask someone? What is the one big, bold statement you can make? Or what is the person doing that you already know they're doing that you can call them out and grab their attention in the first 5 seconds, okay? Now, I actually have a YouTube ad script template, which I'll share with you guys in the resources at the end of these videos that you can have and you can download. And I download this one myself. It's very, very awesome. And you can see that for an in-stream ad, you want to grab their attention very first. You want to call their audience out. You want to call them out. If you're someone who is a single mom looking to get back on track with your diet and weight loss regimen, then I have the perfect in-home, at-home body workout for you. Whatever that calling out of their audience is. You want to focus on the main point and desire of the audience. And you want to use hook to capture the attention, okay? Set a big hook at the very beginning of your video. And so an example here is, hey, if you're not a female who's looking to lose weight, skip this ad. If you're not a single mom looking to lose those last 10 pounds of stubborn body fat, go ahead and click skip on this ad so I don't waste your time. Did you know that if you are a single stay-at-home mom, you are more than likely to gain 10 pounds of extra body weight that you don't want simply because X, Y, and Z? It's like, if I'm a single mom, I'm definitely going to listen to that ad. In this video, I want to show you how to lose the last 10 pounds of stubborn body fat without dieting or doing crazy amounts of cardio. This is the main point of the video, grabbing attention, right? Grabbing attention. How can you grab their attention in the first 5 seconds so that they can listen to the rest of the video ad? You can actually have them listen to what you have to offer. That's where your story comes in, okay? Your story. After you got their attention, what's the story you're going to share with them of why they should listen to you and why your product or service can help them out? So that's where building emotion and connection comes in, as well as giving them a solution. Introduce the pain or desire that the target audience is feeling. Show opportunity of what life looks like once they do fix this problem, and hint at a future solution, okay? Are you tired of the stubborn body fat that you can't seem to lose? Are you tired of not making enough money in your life? Are you tired of working a 9-to-5 job but not getting paid enough, the amount you think you deserve? Are you tired of feeling hopeless, purposeless, and not on track to achieve the desire in your life that you have, right? Are you looking to make more money, create a side income, build a business that you've always dreamed of? Are you looking to lose weight, feel great, and get on tons of Tinder dates? I don't know what that desire is in this example. I'm just reading these and sharing with you guys all these different options that you have to be able to create a winning video ad. What would happen if you were able to achieve the body of your dreams? What would happen if you were able to achieve that business you've always wanted to build and a lifelong legacy and create massive impact in the world by creating and running highly profitable masterminds? And then you want to go ahead and give them a connection of, I used to struggle with the same thing until I discovered masterminds, until I discovered how to get paid for what I already know, what my friends know, or what the world knows but doesn't have access to. My company has been able to X, Y, and Z for hundreds of clients and hundreds of people. And then you want to give them the option to go ahead and take action. That's where call to action comes in, okay? So once again, you already set the big hook in the very beginning by asking a question, setting a strong, bold claim. You shared a little bit about the story of why they should listen to you and what you've done in your life to be able to help them. And now you want to go ahead and give them an option to close, all right? So call to action here. Tell them, what do you want them to do next? Call to action is challenge the audience to get to act on what you've been told and tell them where to click. Click here to get instant access to my website where you can go ahead and sign up for the next mastermind. If you want to learn more about how you're able to run a highly profitable mastermind and still do X, Y, and Z, then make sure you click on the bottom left-hand corner if you're watching on desktop, or the top right-hand corner if you're watching on mobile, or there should be some banners where it says a blue button that says start now, sign up here, or learn more. So this is where it really comes into knowing your video ad and what you're able to do once you set up your ad. So now that I've shown you guys the perfect video structure for an ad, I want to show you guys how to actually create your video ad. So we've gone in, we've created our campaigns, and now it's time to click on create ad. And you're going to want to go ahead and enter the ad that you want to run. This is just an example. So you also want to, since we have in-stream ad already selected, type in the website you're going to be sending them to. And for your display URL, let's say you have a URL that has like X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to have that on your display. You can just do mastermind.com as long as it's the same domain. So you want to make sure you type in the URL you're going to send them to and you want them to go to after they click through your video ad. You want to make sure you have call to action selected. This allows you to have this blue button feature, which is right here. All right. And if they don't have this pop out's not going to be here. And they're only going to be able to see this little monday.com website URL, which isn't as easy to click on as this, right? So you want to make sure you have call to action selected. And you can do learn more. If you're trying to get them over to their website where your sales page is highly converting, that's where you want them to go. And your headline is going to be whatever your product or service is selling. So for this example, we're going to do mastermind.com. And a companion banner is right over here. So if you have a companion banner that you have created, or you have a graphic designer that's made one for you, that's where you want to put it right over here. It's just a more real estate space to use up. Otherwise, if you don't have one made or you don't want to make one, you're going to use your YouTube channel's channel banner automatically. So they'll just pull your channel banner from your YouTube. So if you don't have one on your YouTube channel, you can click over here on your channel and you notice that I don't have one. So because I don't have one, it's not going to pull one up. So you want to make sure you have at least some sort of banner when you customize channel. You can see over here that you can add channel art. That's what YouTube will pull as this if you don't have it already. And you can name your ad whatever comes to your mind. Example, you want to click on save and continue. And now that you've clicked on save and continue, your ad will be under review. And because my campaign is pending, you won't see it, but right over here, it'll say status as under review. You want to click on pause, so that way you can run it when you are ready to run. And that is it. You now have your winning video ad created using this perfect video ad structure. Hook, story, close, call to action, tell them where to click, what do you want them to do next. And you also have this resource here to create your very first winning video ad, okay? You also have a section at the end of this where you can fill in your own script of writing out based off these examples here. And then you're finally ready to film your video ad if you haven't already. And once you do, you can follow the instructions I just said and create and upload your first winning video ad. Once it's approved, you will then be able to run. And that's it, guys. You have your Google Ads account created. you have your Google Analytics account created, you have your YouTube channel linked to your Google Ads account, and you now have your video ad and campaign up and running to start targeting people to get them to your product or your service.
And that wraps up the training. So now you know how to successfully start and scale your very first YouTube ads campaign. I cannot wait to hear all of your success. And if you need to reach out to me for any questions about your YouTube advertising campaigns and want to get a look at them from me and my team to see if we can help you out in any way, then my Instagram will be somewhere on or below this video, and you can reach out to me or send me an email at brian@ytadpros.com. That's Brian, BRIAN, @ytadpros.com. I'll put the email here as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.